Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So today's video is actually inspired by Tranquil ASMR and the current book that I'm reading. So I'll explain. So Tranquil ASMR has done two book videos. I can't remember what she called them, but basically it's, talking about her books that she's read, some of her favourite ones and recent ones she's read, while she taps on the books and flicks the pages and stuff. And they are super relaxing, and she has the loveliest whispered voice. And then the other day I'm reading a book at the minute, and I was tapping on the cover, and I thought, oh, that sounds so good. And then I thought, I really like books, I really like reading, I really like watching ASMR videos that's related to books and reading and trigger sounds with books. And I thought, why have I not done one on my channel? I love reading, as I've just said, and I like talking about what I've read, but no one around me really reads, and they certainly don't read the same books that I read, so I can't really talk about what I read about. So yeah, I thought, I'm going to do one for my channel. I can't believe I've not even thought of one yet. So it is half inspired by Tranquil ASMR, and it's half inspired by the book I'm reading that I was tapping on the other day. Now, before we even get started, I've read for years now. I never read as a child, but as an adult I've read my whole adult life, and I read a lot of different types of books and different genres. I really like romance books, I really like psychological thriller books and mystery books and stuff like that. I also enjoy well-written books, and I also enjoy books that are maybe not so quite well written, very amateur written books. But if the story's good, then I really enjoy it. If the characters are good and the character building's good, then I really enjoy it. I don't enjoy reading from a literature point of view. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy reading from the enjoyment of it, the story. So I'm going to ask kindly for people to not judge my books that I've read, because some of them, I think at least two, are a little controversial, and I'll explain those when I get to them, but I enjoy them and I don't care. So instead of explaining myself, I'm just going to get started. I'm going to kind of soft speak and whisper throughout this video. So we'll start with the first book, and if they are dusty, please don't mind that. They have just been stored for a long time. Some of these have not been read for a while. So, and seeing as though it's Christmas, or it is in my house, my Christmas decorations are up, I'm going to start with a Christmas book. So this is called Christmas at the Beach Hut, and it's by Veronica Henry. I actually read this book last Christmas. I am quite a seasonal reader, so I like to read, Christmassy, wintry books in Christmas and winter, kind of more autumnal horror or thriller or psychological thriller books. I tend to gravitate more towards autumn. So yeah, and some light-hearted reads I like to read kind of through the spring and summer. So, and last year I just really fancied a cozy Christmas book, and that is exactly what I got with this book. So I read it last year. I won't be reading it this year because it's still pretty fresh in my mind. I really like the cover, it's cute, quite shiny. So yes, I really enjoyed this book. It was nice and Christmassy. It made you feel good and cozy and warm. I'll read the back. Everyone loves Christmas, especially Lizzie Kingham. But this year she is feeling unloved and unappreciated by her family. The present buying so she wonders what would happen if she ran away and left it to them. Lizzie heads to her favourite place, a beach hut on the golden sands of Everdeen, I think. There she meets an unlikely collection of new friends, all running away from something. I'm not going to read all of it because it's quite long, but you get the gist. So it's about a woman's stress at Christmas and family and meeting new friends and strangers, and yeah, it's quite a nice, cosy, feel-good book. So it's not too thick, to be honest. So that's the first one. And the next one is of course going to be Harry Potter. Again, this is like the perfect time of year to read Harry Potter, especially if it's a bit grey outside. I live in the UK and it's grey and rainy and cold, and it's the perfect book to read in this kind of weather. Let's do some tracing. So this one is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, as you can see. But I recommend reading any of the books this time of year. I like that there's a little map inside. I'm not going to read any of it or the back because I think everybody already knows the story of Harry Potter. Thought I'd do some page turning. Okay, the next book is a classic book, and it's Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. I love this book, and this made me really want to go on it. The reason how I ended up reading this recently, it's covered in dust, is because I read it's not a newer version, it's like somebody else's version, and it's called The Night on the Orient Express, and I can't remember the author's name, and it really made me want to read this. So yeah, I really enjoy reading books like this time of year as well, because it's like a murder mystery, isn't it? So obviously the Orient Express is about a bunch of strangers that are on the Orient Express, and there is a murder, and it has to be solved by this man, whose name I can never say properly. I can't pronounce it properly for some reason. It's like my mouth doesn't let me pronounce it. So every time I actually read it, I say it different every time it comes on the page. But yes, that's a book I enjoyed. The next book, again, is like really dusty, goodness sake, is this one, which is called We Were Liars by Lockhart. This book was amazing. I've read it twice over the years. I absolutely love it. It's such a good, like, suspense, psychological thriller, mystery. Oh, it's just brilliant. It really is. It's not very big. Oh, the dust's making me sneeze. I actually sneezed. This book I'd probably recommend to read, or you can read it anytime, but I enjoyed reading it through the summer or late summer. I'll read the back. It says, "We are liars. We are beautiful and privileged. We are cracked and broken. A tale of love and romance, a tale of tragedy. Which are lies? Which is truth? You decide." So it doesn't give much away, but it is so good. I'll see if there's something I can read from the inside quickly. Okay, so I'm going to read some of the reviews at the front, and then I'm going to show you, well, I'll show you first. So there is like a map inside, and it's basically huge family own this island, and they go and holiday there, and a tragedy happens. But it's so good, and you don't really know what's true and what's not, what happened, what didn't happen, who's real and who's not real, until the very end. And I'll read some of the reviews. A cunning, clever and absolutely gripping novel, full of surprises, which sent me straight back to its first page as soon as I read the last. Riveting, brutal and beautifully told. A haunting, brilliant, beautiful book. Dark, gripping, head-dreading, trending, and terrifyingly smart. This book grabs you from the first page and will never let you go. So it's a really good book. See, I've actually read it twice now, and I will read it again. Okay, so my next choice is a trilogy, and I'm going to show you all three, but I'm just going to kind of tap on one. Okay, so these are by Paul Pilkington, and like I say, they are a trilogy. I first read these on my Kindle, and they were actually one of the first kind of psychological thrillers, mystery books that I read on my Kindle, and I absolutely loved them and had to get them in a book, because I do have a Kindle and I read it quite a lot, but I do, however, prefer a book, but I kind of only buy books if it's a trilogy or a series and I know that I'm enjoying them and I want them as a book, or that I've already read on my Kindle and I want as a book, or it's just a book that I know I'm going to enjoy, because books take up a lot of room, so I don't buy a lot of books because I already have a lot of books. But yeah, I do read quite a lot on my Kindle, and these came from my Kindle. So this is the first one, The One You Love. The second one is The One You Fear. And the third one is The One You Trust. So I actually really like the covers of these books as well. They're all similar but different colours. So I'll read the back. It says, Fear the Past, the thrilling first instalment of the chart-topping Emma Holden trilogy. Days before their wedding, Emma Holden's fiancé has gone missing. Not only has Dan disappeared without a trace, his brother is found beaten and left for dead. Suspicion for the attempted murder falls on Dan, but Emma refuses to believe his guilt. When crime scene photos get splashed across the pages of the London tabloids, Emma knows that someone is following her, watching her. It's an old, familiar feeling. A long-hidden family secret seems to unite. Unite Emma's troubled past with her dangerous present. As time runs out, Emma's trust in her family, her friends, and Dan faces an ultimate test. So it's a really, really good, like suspense, mystery, psychological thriller. There's so many twists and turns, it's brilliant. Like I said, I read it on my Kindle, and then I reread them when I got the book. What I feel like's good about these type of books is that so much happens that you can forget or get mixed up over time. So when you reread it, you're like, oh, I thought that happened later, or I thought that happened to somebody else. But I feel like you're always getting surprised again. But yes, really, really enjoyed these books. The next one I have is actually behind here, and it is called The Girl Before. This one says global bestseller at the top. This was another like psychological thriller. Really, really good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I feel like it's one of them that you think you know what happens, but then you change your mind and you're like, no, I think this happened. No, I think this is the end. Or it's really good. It really has you going kind of back and forth. doubting what you thought. So I will read what it says on the back. So on the front it says The Girl Before. It says everything that's yours was once hers. Okay, so where to start? So it says, enter the world of 1 Falgate Street and discover perfection, but can you pay the price? Jane stumbles on the rental opportunity of a lifetime, the chance to win and the chance to live in an ultra minimalistic house designed by what does that say? Don't know what that says. An architect anyway, on condition that she abides by the list of rules. But when she discovers the previous tenant, Emma, met a mysterious death there, Jane starts to wonder if her own story will be a rerun of The Girl Before. I'm pretty sure that this, it's read from 2 perspectives, from Jane and from Emma. So from the current woman that moves in to the previous woman that lived there. It's quite, thick, so it's quite a long read. It's so good. Okay, so I've got 2 left. These I think this next one is my controversial book. You'll see for why. So it is the 50 Shades of Grey book. The very thick book. And the reason why I tried to defend myself already from this book being in my pile is because a few years ago when it first came out and it was popular and people said on social media they'd read it and they loved it or they owned it, whatever, and they couldn't wait for the film and stuff. I saw so much backlash, like, how could you enjoy a book like that? It's poorly written, it's degrading, or it's not very, it's just not a good book, it's this and it's that. And I thought, whoa, is that the stage we're at now where we're judging people's choice of book? Like, it's a book, so what? It's not the worst written book I've ever read at all, but it's probably not the best, but who cares? When I enjoy a book, it's either because the story is fantastic, or I enjoy the characters, or I relate to the characters in some way, or the book or the story in some way. And to be quite honest with you, the 50 Shades books I did relate to a lot, and especially the main female character. So I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the character build as well. I feel like with these books you really get to know the characters in it, and you get to know their past, so it's not just the present you get to read and learn about, it's the past too. So I enjoy them, and I don't care. So I've got these, the 3, the trilogy, and I have the first 2 from Christian's point of view. Get in, shot. But yes, I do enjoy these books, and not just for the obvious reasons. I actually enjoy the story. I saw people before getting slammed for enjoying, you know, the certain parts of the book, you know, the erotic parts. This is the kind of first book I ever read that had such detailed scenes in it, and I thought, so what if you're enjoying that? You watch films with those scenes in them, you watch programs with those scenes in them. Why on earth can you not enjoy a book with that in it? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand. And I know it's not to everyone's taste, but I don't think you should slam people for the books they enjoy. And people were saying it's not realistic and that would never happen, and it's like, well, neither's Harry Potter. Harry Potter's not realistic. I'm never going to go to Hogwarts, even though I'd like to, but I still enjoy the books. So I did feel like I had to defend it a little, but I shouldn't. But I do enjoy the books. The films are okay, they're not as good as the book. I don't think anything is. But these are big, thick, hefty books. I enjoy reading them because they take me a while. And then my last book is kind of on similar genre, I guess, to 50 Shades. That's why I've saved it till last. And it is After. And it's the third book that I'm actually currently reading after We Fell. So I was actually late to this. I never read the books when they came out. I didn't read them when they were on Wattpad. But I saw the film in September. And the film looked really good. I saw the trailer and thought, well, that looks good, I want to watch the film. So I did, and I actually really enjoyed the film, and I thought, I need to read the books, I have to read the books. So I got the first book and absolutely loved it, and I honestly didn't think that I would, just because, I don't know, I thought it was aimed, you know, a lot at, you know, late teens, young adults, which it is. But I thought that I would not enjoy it at all. It's too young, it's maybe going to be immature, a bit silly. I just couldn't be bothered with it. And yet, even though it is aimed at teens and young adults, I actually really enjoy, I'm really sorry if you can hear my dog. I actually really enjoyed the story and the character build, and these again are really thick, hefty books. They take a while to get through. There is a lot that happens in these books, like a lot. They constantly kind of keep me turning the page to see what happens. The films, I must admit, I don't like. I liked the first one until I read the book, and then I realised that the film's nothing like the book. And I know everyone says that, and it's obvious and blah blah blah, but it's not even anywhere close to being as good. The second one, I really didn't like the film. The second book, I really did like. It was brilliant. But yes, I am on the third book now. And that's the book I was tapping on the other day, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. But yeah, they're just a couple of either recent books that I've read or some of my recent favourites. I may do another video in a couple of months when I've read a few more books. These are not all the books that I have. I've got a ton more, and then my Kindle, but I may wait a couple of months and then do another one. Let me know, what do you think? But yeah, that's my book list, book haul. let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought. And I will see you all again in my next video.